Today, we continue our series with Hooper Law, finding out if Grandpa's fence line would hold up in court. Turns out the answer is maybe. Here's what you need to know to protect your land for future generations.
I've been involved in a large amount of, we'll say, conversations with neighbors about where exactly property lines fall. And it can get very confusing because you have things that are markers that are to individuals, like a stream or a where a fence line either is or was, or where you might have a driveway or a trail of some sort. And then there's also survey markers, or sometimes they drive things into the ground that you are then searching for to mark the boundaries of where the property lines actually go. And so it isn't unusual for these things to shift over time. So even things that you're using like rivers and streams will shift over time. There's also different concepts, legal concepts, where if you're allowing another person to use certain portions of your property and they do so for a long period of time, they can start to make claims of ownership or even ongoing use of that property simply because that's been the arrangement for that long period of time, and nobody has said anything different. So adverse possession is sort of a legal theory where somebody can use something, and if nobody says that it's a problem, their ongoing use of it can eventually turn into ownership. There's a lot of things that you have to prove. It doesn't happen just overnight. Usually payment of the property taxes associated with that property can be have a big impact on how long you have to show that you've had possession of the property or that you're exercising possession. So, I mean, all of these things factor into where exactly property lines end up falling. And honestly, a lot of those disputes happen when somebody passes away and you're trying to establish what exactly is being sold and who it's going to, or if you're dividing up property among multiple beneficiaries and certain people are trying to get certain aspects or certain qualities of the property. There was a family that I was involved with a number of years ago where multiple people wanted access to a certain stream, that it was an important part of the look of the property or the use of the property, and that became kind of paramount. And then it turned out they didn't own the stream at all. So it was a pretty big deal for this family, because that was so important to everybody. And so establishing exactly where your property is, it's one of the things that we often address in doing estate planning, because it's so much easier to fix or to make sure to clarify that when the original owners are still alive.
If you missed last week's chat with Sarah, she covered the importance of paperwork to outline your land rental agreements and beyond. You can see that story on the Midwest Farm Weekly page on wearegreenbay.com.